one of my meaningless yet still really exciting goals is to read 10,000 books. And I just finished my 1400th book a little while ago, but I do owe you guys a little bit of a reading update too. See, I just got back from vacation. Vacation from what? I'm not entirely sure, but I did take a vacation and first time in a long time. And I did nothing but just like lounge on the beach and read and just kind of hang out for a week. And what's weird about that, maybe you know exactly what I'm about to describe here, but I'm so glad to be back working. And like I work for myself, so yeah, I'm a pretty good boss. So I'm not returning to a bunch of like meetings or spreadsheets or any like nonsense like that. Like I will never live that life ever because I don't have to. This is my full-time thing. I literally created my own career sharing great books on the internet. And there's a lot more that goes into it than just that. But I mean, that's basically it. So that, like, coming back to that is just, I don't know, it's just coming back to my life, teach other people what I've learned from these fantastic books and get paid for it, get paid really well, and just kind of go about my life. So, as fun as vacation was, being back from vacation isn't like a letdown or a disappointment or anything. And I really have, created a life that I don't need a vacation from. And let me just tell you, if you have a business that you're trying to grow or something that you're building on the side, like, do not stop. Don't give up trying to make that your real thing. Because no matter where you are right now, sometimes you just can't see that next massive breakthrough that's going to come along. And for me, like, and not just for me, like almost literally everyone else, there's just going to be so long where nothing happens. But if you're gaining a little bit of traction, just like keep going because that's exactly how compound interest works. Like it keeps like stacking a little bit and then you get to here and you build up a little bit and then it just takes off. Everything that's fantastic that's happening in my business right now, it's all a direct result of me just not stopping. And if you're at least halfway ambitious and competent and like willing to put in like the necessary hours and push through the inevitable hardships of that and get to that other side, like put in that time that everybody has to go through in order to see any sort of meaningful success. Like if you are willing and able to do that, then like on the other side of that is everything that you're working towards. And like that's exactly where I'm at right now. Like everything's coming together, and I'll have a little bit more to say about that like at the end of the video. But I just wanted to say that in the beginning, and I just coming back from vacation is really kind of just where that all kind of started to sink in and just how happy I was that I always kept going. Like I never ever believed that I wouldn't eventually be successful, that I wouldn't make it. Like I had this delusional level of self-belief in like belief in myself. And I held on to that no matter what. And yeah, I mean, again, be sensible about it. Like if it's obviously not working, don't beat your head against the wall trying to make something that's like obviously not going to work. But at the same time, like there are so many ways to win. Like you don't have to do it with books. There are so many things that you can start and that you can grow, and where you can do extremely well for yourself if you just don't stop. So again, I'm just gonna get into the books, get into the reading update. But I wanted to say that in the very beginning. One of the first books I read on vacation was actually The 2 Week Vacation Test by Austin Netzley. And I read another book of his a little while ago, and it's called From Six to Seven Figures. And they're both business books, and like it's totally like me to bring a business book on vacation. But I was reading The 2 Week Vacation Test. On my vacation. And the point, like the whole point of the book is to basically set up your business so that you can take a 2 week vacation and your business will not only like not implode, like you're going to be fine, like you're going to still have a business to come back to, but it's also going to grow without you. You could hand it off to capable team members and they're going to like help you finish what you started, but not with your direct involvement on the day-to-day operation. It's all about operationalizing everything and trusting your team members, getting super clear on your business priorities and your schedule, like what's important day to day, how to sort of gradually shift into being able to take 2 entire weeks off of your business. And if you're anything like me, 2 weeks of not doing anything on your business, like even just a few months ago, I would not have been able to do it. And now I took maybe a 1 week vacation test where I didn't really post anything. I think I had one call with someone while I was on vacation. I posted maybe like a few times on socials, but I really didn't do too much. And my business still grew. I've got sponsorships coming in, and bunch of like cool, like really cool sponsorships, tell you about in future videos. And so like my business grew even while I was like literally on the beach just reading the 2 week vacation test. So highly recommend this one, but it's not as good as From Six to Seven Figures. That one is the more like intensive business book. Like that one is the one to really study. And I'm actually featuring that one in my newsletter tonight. And it's going out in a couple of hours. The sign up link is down in the video description. One of the other books I finished on vacation was Hard Lessons from the Hurt Business by my friend Ed Latimer. He was a professional boxer. I think he's like 14 and 0 and 1, or like anyway, he's got a really good professional boxing record, and he's also a writer. It's mostly a memoir of his really really difficult childhood and just the realities of growing up in like the very worst neighborhoods, but also just like the kindness of his childhood friends and the families of his childhood friends. How having that support system really helped him elevate his life and escape these like really really difficult, challenging circumstances. Eventually, he found boxing. He committed himself to it, and it's a whole bunch in here about his fight against alcoholism and just like so many things. And he is just, I mean, I don't know what he's at on YouTube now, like 100,000 subscribers or more. He's got several successful books, big online platform. He does very, very well in terms of just making a great living, just online as a creator and now an author. And yeah, I love this book quite a bit. And so yeah, highly recommend this one too. And actually, I'm featuring this one in my newsletter too. So if you do sign up, you'll get all my notes and my summary of this one too. It's going out in just a few hours. Two other great books that I just finished, and one is called The Stoic Path to Wealth by Darius Faroo, and this is the second or third book I think that I've read from him, maybe fourth even. And he's always like he writes in a much simpler style, right? He writes to be understood, always. And this one, yeah, I mean, it's basically applying Stoic philosophy to investing in the stock market. And I don't know of any other book that approaches it through that lens. So Stoicism is a super popular philosophy now, and I've made videos on this. I've read tons of like I've read all the major Stoic books like Meditation by Marcus Aurelius, On the Shortness of Life by Seneca, and Epictetus. This is basically investing through the lens of Stoicism. So you've got things like accepting loss and like accepting the possibility of loss. Like you're going to lose money in the stock market sometimes. It can come back if you've got a strategy of just investing in the S&P 500. It generally like there's I don't believe there's a actually I know there's not been a 20-year period ever where the S&P 500 has lost money. So you may lose money in a given year, but if you just wait it out, if you kind of like manage your emotions like a real stoic would, then you will eventually recover. Like your portfolio will recover and you'll make money again and you'll be fine. But it's that sort of you're reining in your very real human emotions, and you're kind of like navigating this volatile stock market. And it's a really just interesting way of approaching that too, because yeah, like stoicism is so incredibly useful, when you are an investor. There's a whole bunch of other stuff in here, like specific investing strategies. And I also really enjoyed hearing more or reading more about different investors. Like Kathy Wood is featured in here, and a few others that I didn't know too much about. This guy Jesse Livermore, he was kind of like I'd never even heard of this guy before, but he's like a like massively famous investor. And so in this book, The Stoic Path to Wealth, you've got a little profile on him. It was super interesting. So I really liked that. And there's also Good Money Revolution by my friend Derek Kinney, and I just finished reading that yesterday, I believe. And this one is fantastic. The subtitle is, How to Make More Money, Do More Good, and that's the lens that he approaches things in this book, right? And so he's a financial plan, like a financial advisor, right? And so he, helps people, eliminate debt, earn more money, save, invest, things like that. But the main thrust of his book is that you should make more money to do more good, which is the exact subtitle that he chose. And I love that framing, right? And so there's all like there's a thread of just generosity throughout the entire book, right? And so he emphasizes your generosity purpose. And like what are you making money for? And there's another great idea in here, your people portfolio, the people and causes and things like that that you choose to make money to give to. So for me, for every single premium member of my newsletter, it's called The Reading Life. What I do is I donate $1 to First Book. It's a literacy charity, helps kids learn to read and afford books and things like that. So yeah, you get other stuff, but you also get those good feelings of knowing that you're helping out. And that is like actually great for business. There's that in there too, and just a whole bunch of great stuff. And I like his whole philosophy to life, his whole approach to life. I think he's a great parent too. Like his wife and kids, they're all like totally with like he's been a fantastic example to them, just about how powerful and transformative a habit of giving can be. And there's some really cool stories in here about just him. And like these aren't like it's not him like donating a wing to a hospital or anything. It's like there's one of my favorite stories in here is about how his kids on Christmas they left the house kind of grudgingly and to go to this homeless shelter on Christmas morning to help out a little bit. And when they got there, passing out soup or whatever, but there's one guy that didn't have any shoes. So one of Derek's kids like literally took like the size 10 and a half shoes off his very own feet and gave this homeless guy his shoes. And at the end of it, nobody in his family like left there with shoes. They were just kind of like funny, but like also really sweet. And like his family's they're doing things right. And mine too. Like I'm not super rich or anything, but my family has always been really, really giving. And like we're not like the richest people ever, like not even close. But we do, pretty damn well. And we also just we give a tremendous amount. And like my parents were a fantastic example in that respect to me. And I mean, Derek's a fantastic example to his kids as well, and really to anyone who reads this book. And so, yeah, I really love this one. You can find all those books in the video description. And I feel like I've been talking for, like, well, too long. So I'm going to wrap this up a little bit, but I'll share a little bit about what I'm reading right now. One of them's a great little leadership book that I just kind of, actually, I heard of this because the author messaged me. And his name is Travis Dalrymple, and his book's called How to Suck as a Leader. And it's basically like learning how to become a leader, via negativa, basically, by negation, what not to do. And I remember, I mean, that being like that's an actually really powerful way to learn. I remember, I mean, working at bars when I was like, in my 20s and early 30s. I basically learned what not to do, not just in dating, but like with just people in general. I learned what not to do from watching people at the bar, and obviously other ways too. But yeah, you can really learn a thing or two about a thing or two by just watching, like just paying attention to what not to do. And that's the approach that he takes in the book. And it's not a super heavy leadership book. It's light and breezy, informative and helpful. He's an accomplished business strategist. He's been doing this for like 2 decades, so he knows what he's talking about. He has deep expertise, but he doesn't take that expertise or himself too seriously, right? It's very conversational, which is kind of what I like in a book. And so that's one that I'm reading right now. Then the last two, I'll keep this super short. I'm not going to talk about them for very long at all. This one, 11/22/63 by Stephen King. I have trouble remembering the number, so I wanted to make sure that that was exactly right. 11/22/63. It's a like a time travel horror novel, and it is just man, it's what 800 pages. I'm flying through this thing. I started it actually on the plane ride home from vacation, and I ripped through the first 100 pages or so right on the plane. It's unput downable, I would say, and I'll have more to say about this later. And the other one is man, it's such a classic, and it's been one I've been reading for way too long. I'm gonna actually finish the damn thing. It's Don Quixote by Miguel Cervantes. This is an absolute classic, and I've got the 400th anniversary edition here, and it's just as funny today as it was 400 years ago. It's actually just spectacular, just in so many ways, and I I really do have to finish it. And one thing I've been kind of working on, I guess, is having this goal to read so many books. I've been kind of choosing shorter books and like when deciding even on a day-to-day level, like deciding what to read, I would go for like I would start to read something that I have 200 pages left in, because I know that I could make like a greater percentage progress, reading that book, than I could. Like 20 pages of a 200-page book is a larger percentage than 20 pages of a 900-page book, and I really do have to sort of push back against that tendency because Don Quixote is such a man. It's such a fantastic book, and I want to finish it, and so I'm gonna resist the sort of instant gratification of finishing more books and really sit with this one and actually enjoy it. And it's going to take me a little bit longer than Stephen King. Like this isn't hard. I can just rip through this in a couple of days. This will take me, a good, few weeks of, more or less dedicated reading to at least to really get the most out of it. But it's an absolute classic. I highly recommend it. And I mentioned before that I was going to mention a little bit more about business. I've actually got an 8-week cohort that's starting on September 1st. So if you're watching this video before then, there's definitely enough time to get in on this. And basically, I'm teaching educational content creators how to get to $1,000 a month in revenue in less than 90 days. I'm not going to pitch this one too hard. All the details are down in the video description. So click that link if you're interested in joining. I've been a full-time creator for years and years now, and I've learned a tremendous amount that's really going to shorten your learning curve and just get you where you want to go in your business and kind of interrupt that sort of flat period where nothing happens. I'm big on gathering momentum early and just stacking up quick wins and just really getting you there faster, but not in a way that's like unethical or it's going to have you starting on a rocky foundation. I really want to get you get everything built up really well. We start the coaching program on September 1st, but this is year round, right? So join the community and you'll get my personal help. I don't hand you off to some coach that works for me. Like you're going to work exactly with me, and we're going to get you started on the right way. Like build the foundation of your business and make sure that's rock solid. We're going to get you a clear path to monetization, and really you'll know exactly how and in the ballpark of when you're going to get to that $1,000 a month. And I'll never say that it's going to be easy. It was not easy for me, but over the course of many years, I've learned a tremendous amount that's really going to help you. So click that first link in the video description. Thanks very much for watching this video right here. And for some of my best advice on building an unbreakable reading habit, you're going to want to watch this video right here. Happy reading.
I don't waste time, no, I make time. All these people wanna hate, fine, I'ma make mine. While you sitting there complaining, I'll be training. While you sitting there just waiting, I'm creating. Yeah.